This show's pretty decent, though it's very different from what I remember. Character-wise, Darwin is a bit of a jerk at times, and Gumball and Darwin actually have a very similar personality. They're both pretty nice. At times, Gumball's personality is a bit rude, but he's nowhere as near an asshole-like as he is in the later seasons from what I remember, because I remember him being, one of the more douchey characters. But, you still being able to somewhat like him. But in season 1, so far, he's surprisingly wholesome. And only occasionally is he kind of rude. And it's usually just in moments of anger and not just intentionally being an asshole. There is one episode, though, where he is somewhat intentionally an asshole, but he thinks he's not that rude. Or the people that they call like the reject club or whatever invite him to his club, and he's like, well, I'm not that desperate, and laughs at them. And then later, when he talks to his parents about it, he said he politely declined, which obviously not true. One minor thing I had a problem with, I know it's a fucking kids cartoon and there's continuity errors throughout the entire show that I'm not going to mention. But one that stuck with me a lot was in the very first episode. Anais floods the fucking house and Darwin swims around. Obviously, he can breathe underwater because he's a fish. But in a later episode, he hides from a girl that keeps trying to kiss him even though he doesn't want to kiss her. Because she claimed he was his boyfriend and he just went along with it because he was nervous. Instead of just telling the truth. Because, Darwin. So, yeah, he's underwater, and then eventually he has to come out for air when he's a fish. And he literally sleeps in a fishbowl. We see it a few times in this season. I'm pretty sure it shows up a lot more in later seasons, since there is 7 more seasons. Mr. Robinson wasn't as big of a character in this season. I'm sure he will be in later seasons, but he only has 2 major episodes, and then he has 1 cameo where he just randomly crashes a car because of Gumball. And then there's 2 episodes where, he tries to help Mr. Robinson after Robinson saves his life, which he doesn't save his life. He just doesn't run him over. He stops his car. And Mr. Robinson has the episode where he makes Gumball clean everything after he throws his ball into his yard by accident or whatever. The ice cream girl was not in this season, who I sort of remember. I think her name was Sarah. I think she was more of a meta character to talk about, the fans. So that's definitely not something that should be introduced in the first season. There honestly was, some episodes that I really didn't care for. This season was kind of weak. Which, it's the start of a show. I don't expect it to be crazy good, but it was definitely weird that I wasn't the biggest fan of season 1. So, I'm hoping it's not like other shows or movies that I rewatch where I just don't like them. There were some pretty funny episodes. And it was pretty decent. But, yeah, I guess that's about it.